Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to the EGU podcast for awakening and emerging spiritual entrepreneurs. Today we have a part 2, and we have 3 steps for you to create a thriving business with manifesting abundance coach Kathryn Yarborough. Thank you for joining us again, Kathryn.
Oh, I'm so delighted to be here, Michelle.
Thank you. I am Michelle Reinhardt, your host and the creator of the Entrepreneurs Globally Unite online community, and I'm excited to share the next 30 minutes with Kathryn discussing one of her many favourite topics. So, folks, don't go anywhere. Grab a pen and paper, turn off your zings and pings for 30 minutes and turn your undivided attention inward. Drop into your heart space and listen deeply to get the jewels of wisdom this lady has to share. Kathryn, whilst we're discussing business attraction today, would you say the information you have for us can be applied to any area of our lives where we'd like more abundance?
A piece of it can. So let's jump in with the 3 things you need to grow a thriving heart-based business, and then I'll talk about the 3rd piece, which can be applied everywhere. So the 3 things that you need to grow a heart-based business, the first one is you need something that people will pay you for. So I have begun to call that a sellable offer. The second thing you need to grow a thriving heart-based business is a way to let people, your people who you really want to work with, let them know about you and your service or your sellable offer. And that is called marketing. And the 3rd thing that I believe you need is to have a vibration that has you attract people. So you're using the law of attraction. And that's the thing, understanding how to use the law of attraction intentionally. And I know, Michelle, you know a lot about this. But understanding that, and I talk about 7 steps to manifest anything, really enhances all the marketing that you do so that it's a lot easier for you to sell your sellable offers and bring into your world the people who you're here to help and make a difference with. And it's just, these 3 things all support each other, if that makes sense.
They do. I can see why. Look, to make it really simple, you can't make money if you don't have something to sell. And our world is sales. Whether you're selling your favourite dress shop to your best friend or whether you're selling something online, we are buying and selling commodities all the time. If you want to get some money out of that, you've got to have an offer to sell.
Exactly.
And, marketing, I think, certainly in my world, a lot of people have forgotten that there is sales and marketing aside from the internet as well. There's the good old face-to-face and the networking and that sort of stuff, which I know you are particularly passionate and very, very good at. Yeah, and yes, the vibration of attraction, that's diving into my favourite part of the world. So, Kathryn, how do you lead people into helping them create their sellable offer?
Well, so I have a conversation with people, and first of all, to create a sellable offer this is my world, and this is for heart-based entrepreneurs in general and people who provide transformational type services or healing services, something where they want to help someone go from one place to another place or go towards something or go away from an experience they've had. And so to craft a sellable offer, you need to know who those people are that you want to work with. And they've always said, the marketer people have always said that, know who your target market is. And then they talk about your, what is that term that people use to describe?
Niche?
No, well, there's niche.
Yeah.
The avatar.
Yes.
That's a new term to me. I learned that a couple years ago. And, the old term was target market. So anyway, this has been around for a long time. But what's happened for me as most of my clients come from Facebook, and most of my clients want to attract people around the globe and use Facebook. Not everybody, and not everybody is that right for. But what I've discovered is that it's even more important now because there's so many different people out there and so many different offers that you need to be even more specific in order for people to really get that you're talking to them, because they're getting bombarded by, thousands, millions, tons of people and tons of messages. So the sellable offer is very specific, and it's based on who your people are and what they need and how you can help them. I think of it as a bridge between their world and what they're saying they need and want, and your world and the way you want to work with people. And that sellable offer makes that bridge so that it makes sense to you and it makes sense to them, and they'll say yes to it.
Sounds perfect. And just to make that nice and clear too, do you have a suggested price point for people to come in?
Well, no, I don't. It depends on you. It depends on your audience. It depends on your sellable offer. I will say that I believe in a funnel approach, and this is what works for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for you, Michelle, or somebody else, but I find that it's helpful for people to give people an easy first step, something that doesn't cost a whole heck of a lot, and gets them. I talk about getting in the door. In a way, I mean, there's a free thing sometimes that you might want to offer. Like I at times offer complimentary consultations. And then the next thing, like I've got a package right now with 3 sessions, which is $197. I mean, it is so affordable.
It is.
It's like, how could you say no to it practically?
Yeah.
So, but someone else, it may be that first step might be a course, or for $49, or a $297 product. So it really depends on what you're doing, how you're helping people, and where you're moving them to.
Yeah, I understand that completely. So is there anything else you'd like to add to that step, Kathryn?
The only thing I want to say is that I may someday create a course on crafting the sellable offer. I do have a free video training that's like kind of an overview similar to what I just said, but a little bit longer. And I have like steps that I've delineated on it.
Okay.
And
we'll pop the notes in the show notes for people for that. That's easy. Yeah,
that would be great. And but I am committed to working one-on-one with people these days, and especially around crafting the sellable offer, because I believe it's so unique. And granted, there are some similarities in that it's moving people into the funnel. It may be, I'm going to often recommend a 3-session package, but I'm going to work with my clients to tweak it. I just don't believe that we should do exactly what everybody else says to do. But we need to find the right, each entrepreneur needs to find the right way to move people into their funnel and for that first sellable offer. And then you have to think of the next step as a sellable offer too, the continuing sessions or the longer term package.
Yeah.
And you have to sell that too. So that has to be crafted as well.
And the beauty of this and really nailing this is it's a no-brainer. It gives people the opportunity to meet you more closely, it's the old know, like, buy scenario, isn't it? And working with someone such as yourself that works on a very intuitive nature can help pull people out of themselves with their offer that they perhaps didn't even really know they were deeply passionate about, because we're really good at hiding that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And that's why I think it's just so important. You have to talk to somebody. I mean, it's helpful. And that's what so many people share with me, is how helpful it is to talk with me about that. So, yeah. But let's move on. Let's talk about marketing.
Yes, please.
Because once you're clear about your offer, you have to tell people about it. And I recommend that people first, in this world of Facebook and, trying to reach people, out there, you want to test your offer with the people who already know you. Once you've done that and you still feel good about it and you want to keep sharing it with the rest of the world, then you need to develop what I think of as 1 to 3 ways that you're going to consistently let new people know about you and your services and potentially your sellable offer. So there are so many ways out there, all the different types of social media these days. Then, of course, there's this, you were reminding us, face-to-face networking, and there's advertising, and there's blogging, and, there's YouTube videos. We can go on about all the different possible ways that you can help people find out about you. People can find this. Do they find it through you, but they also find it on iTunes? Is that correct?
Yeah, on iTunes, it's on Stitcher, it's on YouTube, it's on my page, my blog, my website. So yes, and it's on LinkedIn, Pinterest. It goes everywhere. Yeah.
So people could find out about you and now me on this particular show from all these different things. Now, I recommend that we find our 1, 2, or at the most 3 ways that we are consistently letting new people know about ourselves. So, because I think to really do any of these ways well, if you're a solopreneur, it is really challenging to do all of them and meet people and have them meet you. So with this sort of thing, it makes sense that you're announcing it in all those different ways, but I'm guessing you focus your time and energy on a few places that you're really doing. Is that true, Michelle?
That is true. Yeah, very much Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
Mm-hmm. So marketing includes finding that 1 to 3 ways that you're going to help people know about you, then what you do to help them take the next step, which is you have a message that you tell people that pretty much goes across the board that helps them know that you're talking to them. Yes. Like, let's say you help people with back pain. You say, I'm a chiropractor, I help people with back pain.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Make it simple.
I'm a coach for heart-based entrepreneurs, and I help heart-based entrepreneurs attract clients easily. So, boom, people come know that about me. So you get that message out, and then ideally they come into your funnel, they join your e-list, and there's lots of things to do there, and then you give them a next opportunity to try something, and then you tell them about your sellable offer, and they move through your funnel some more, and boom, you've got a client. So sort of simple, kind of challenging to put together, and sometimes really difficult to implement, which is why we need to work on clearing our blocks and using the law of attraction. And I love to tell about my 7 steps to manifest anything. Can I do that?
Oh, can you do that? Well, yes. So we've sort of skipped over the 3rd step of vibration of attraction, but we're going to mold that into the 7 steps for manifestation. I'm keen. I'm on the edge of my seat. Let's go.
So these 7 steps are what I use to help my clients shift their vibration.
Beautiful.
So that they can be magnetic to their clients. And it amazes me for myself when I'm practicing these things that people come into my world. Opportunities show up. When I'm not practicing this stuff and then I go into shutdown mode and I have a wall up, clients do not come. Opportunities do not show up. It's just fascinating. So, all right. So I'll quickly name all 7 steps, then we'll go into as much depth as it seems like it would be helpful. Okay, Michelle?
Let's go.
So step number 1 is know what you don't want. Step number 2 is know what you do want. Step number 3 is clear your blocks and believe you will receive it. Step number 4 is ask for it and intentionally use the law of attraction to attract it. Step number 5 is give thanks for it. Step number 6 is act on any intuition or guidance you receive. And step number 7 is allow yourself to change. So I want to say that I do have a free ebook. We might have mentioned it in the last call. It's How to Manifest Anything. And we'll put the link here if that's good.
Yeah.
And it goes over the first 6 steps, not the 7th step, because when I first started working with this material, I didn't know the 7th step, which is allow yourself to change. But what I discovered is that when we're doing these steps, when we're working with manifestation and the law of attraction, and if you're like Michelle and like myself, a spiritual person, you're going to evolve. And you have to let yourself change, and you have to let yourself stop being the person you were in order to be this person that you are becoming, who is experiencing that which you are asking powerfully for. So yeah,
it's interesting you say that, because I lead healing and mindset energy transformations, and only recently on my clearing work have I added to the end, I need the person to know that anywhere they believe that change is not possible, it is. Because it's a big belief of ours that it is what it is, you know. And I grew up believing that and hearing that from my dad particularly, you know. It is what it is, let it be. But why? You know, once you start asking the bigger questions that everyone here on this show listening is asking the big questions, starting to believe that, you know what, I can and be and do and have anything I want. It really opens the door to some pretty magical stuff.
It sure can. It's pretty amazing. So that's beautiful. Really beautiful that that's shown up for you.
Yeah. So, and I understand why it didn't show up for you initially when you started working with the program yourself, because you were quite possibly not allowing that change in yourself.
It's very possible.
Yeah. So, okay, are we going to go a little deeper for people? Know what you don't know.
Know what you don't want. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, but know what you don't know is kind of challenging, but also interesting.
Yeah.
So know what you don't want. I love this step, because most of us get stuck in what we don't want. And so we start focusing on what we don't want. We're thinking we're asking for what we do want. Like if for example, we were to apply this to attracting clients, because we were talking about business. So, but you can apply it to anything, but I'm going to focus on clients since we were talking about that. So let's say you want to, you know, have 5 more clients a month than you've had. But let's say you only have a week. Let's say you want 5 more clients a week consistently, but you've been having 5, and you're just not getting the clients that you want. And so what you do is you focus on, well, I've only got 5, and it just seems impossible to get more. and you focus on what you don't want, which is that it seems impossible to get more, and I only have 5 a week. But the beauty of recognizing and understanding that not having what you want can be a first step to manifesting whatever you want, more clients, more anything. It's empowering, because if you can bring your awareness and recognize, oh my goodness, this is not what I want, then you can ask the next question. If I don't want this, what do I want?
Yes.
And, I've been feeling bad, and so I know I've been focusing on what I don't want. And that's the Abraham Hicks will teach us. If we're feeling bad, they have this whole emotional guidance system. And if you're feeling bad, then
it's on my wall.
It's on your wall. I love it. And so, you know, I've simplified that years ago, and I know that's not exactly what it is, but I figure my simplification is, if you're feeling bad, then you're going upstream. You're going away from what you want. If you're feeling good, you're going towards what you want. The more
Agreed,
you
completely.
feel good, the more you're going towards what you want. So anytime you feel bad, in any way, shape, or form, you can start with step number 1. You can go, okay, I've been focusing on something I don't want. What is it?
Yeah.
You can do like a mind probe. What have I been thinking about? And then you go, oh yeah, I've been thinking that it's hard to attract clients. So I must not want that. I must not want to experience that it's hard to attract clients. So if I don't want that, what do I want? Okay, well maybe what I want is to experience that it's easy to attract clients. Something like that.
It works a whole lot better for me.
Yeah. So it's, practicing that, gosh, I probably started, 5 years, 6 years ago, maybe something like that, of practicing noticing when I felt bad and becoming aware of what I've been thinking about and then shifting it to what I really want. That was one of the most powerful transformational things that I did. It's so empowering.
It is. And people don't realize that their very thought patterns are what is keeping them stuck, and how easy it can be to shift them once you're aware.
Mm-hmm. It is. So when we're aware, we can do that and move to step number 2, which is know what you do want.
Yeah.
And I don't know who from your listeners, how many people actually listened to last week's interview, but you asked me something about what I think people is the block, what the biggest block is. And I said, not knowing what they want.
Yeah.
And so what's beautiful about this process is these are steps that really, if you practice them, you can keep coming back to what do you want. I mean, I recommend once a month making a list of everything that you don't want in your life, and then going, if I don't want this, what I do want is. I actually teach that sentence completion. If I don't want blank, what I do want is blank.
Yeah.
And I invite people to fill in the blank, because that way it's more likely to come from your body, heart, mind, and higher self than if you just come from your head.
Yes.
With the opposite. So then you do that, and then you've got, some things that you do want, but to live in the question of, to live in the knowing that we can create whatever we want for the most part, it's both empowering and daunting.
Yes, I agree.
It's like, okay, so if I could create anything, what do I really want?
Yeah.
And that's a fascinating question to keep asking yourself. To keep asking.
Well, most of us are really, really good at staying in the box, staying in our comfort zone, in our safety space, which is obviously where our ego loves us to be, because it's nice and safe there. But that's not where the magic is.
That is true. That is true. But what's interesting, I'll share a little bit for myself, a little bit about my process over the last year, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
So being in this question, I create my own work, and that's just, I've considered getting jobs over the years, and every time I go, there's just no way. It just isn't happening. So I've created a lifestyle where I can create my own work and do what feels fun for me. And it's been interesting. It's like, all right, so if I can create anything, what will that really look like? Am I working one-on-one with people? Am I creating courses? That's so much fun. Am I speaking in different places? What am I doing? How am I spending my time?
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I came back to having a private practice was that actually working one-on-one with people, I get to be in a relationship with them. and I'm touching someone, they're touching me, and we're both sort of having this transformative experience. So of course I'm there for them for the most part, but of course I'm being touched by them. So I want that experience to a certain extent. I don't want it to be every hour of every day, but I want to have that experience. And so I'm choosing to create a world where I'm working with clients in that way.
Yeah, that's special.
But we all get to do that. We all get, the more we ask ourselves, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And imagine each thing, and then go about having an experience that we get to taste it, because that's what will happen. If you keep imagining something, because of the law of attraction, you will bring it to you. Yep. And so you get to taste it and go, wow, do I like this? So you're going to imagine it and go, do I like this or don't I like this? And then if you keep imagining it, it will come in physical form, and you get to go, do I like this or I don't like this? And if you like it, you get to ask, keep building on it, or you could get to go, no, I didn't like that. I mean, I've had some experiences this past year and a half, where I had some clients I didn't like. Really.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. And some where the work wasn't satisfying. So it's helping me to get clearer about the type of work I want to be doing with people, so that I can speak it in a way that and vibrate in a way that I'll bring those people to me too. So It's interesting.
It is. It's always interesting, no matter how many years you've been coaching or healing or whatever. There is always more to learn from the very next person you come across.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful thing. That's beautiful. So point number 3, Kathryn, is to clear the blocks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you want to clear your blocks so that it's like, there's 2 metaphors that I love. One is if you need to buy milk and you go, okay, I need milk. So you drive to the grocery store and you know the milk is going to be there. I mean, for the most part, milk is going to be at the grocery store, or bread or eggs or whatever it is that you know you have to get. There's a certainty about it. So we want to clear our blocks so that we're at a place where when I say, I want 10 clients a week, or, I need to, I need to go to the store and get some milk. I need 10 clients a week, or 5 new clients this month, or whatever it is. Do we clear our blocks enough that we know that it's there?
Yes.
Just like the milk is. The other metaphor that's similar is going to a restaurant. These are food metaphors. They're really great.
I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet.
Well, you'll be going out for breakfast maybe, but you go to the restaurant and you're like, I'd like the special number 2, which is eggs and toast, and you put in your order with the waitress. You know that order's coming. Yeah. It's that kind of certainty you want to get to. So there's lots of different ways to clear blocks. There's energetic ways. I use cognitive tools that are journaling exercises, and I have some meditations that I've created that have been helpful too. So there's different things, but that's what you're going towards, is that certainty. So that's step number 3 in a nutshell.
It is step number 3. And different, just on that, clearing blocks, different things work for different people. So you may need to try a few different things. Very often the simple act of awareness is enough. So don't be disheartened if you feel that you are swimming upstream. It's just telling you that there's just a little bit more work to do. So be gentle and kind with yourself, and it'll come. It will raise itself to the surface for you.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. It is a process. So, shall we talk about step number 4?
Please. Law of attraction.
All right. So this is when we get to really ask for it. Even though we were sort of asking for it in step number 2 and we got clear about what we want, this is where we put into place some intentional practices. And it's helpful to do this after you have cleared some blocks. If you haven't, then when you start to intentionally and I'll share, I talk about saying your new story. So let me say what that is, and then I'll come back to the whole thing about blocks. So when you say your new story, you can say it, you can write it, and then you can read it. What you want to do is create your new story in the first person, as if what you want is actually happening. And you want to fill in all the details with, emotion, how you feel, sensory experiences, like what you see when it's happening. So for example, if I want to see 10 clients a week, and I say, my new story might start with, I see 10 clients a week, and when I look at my calendar, I see all the names filled in, and when I look at my bank account, there's all this money being deposited, and I get notices from PayPal regularly. So you create these sensory things that will bring up the different feelings that you want to feel. Now, when you say your new story, you want to be feeling good. If not, then what you're asking for, what you want, isn't exactly what you really want. So you get to go back and tweak that. Now, I recommend to people that they say their new story 3 to 5 times a day. You want to get to that feeling of it is happening now, and hold it for 68 seconds or more. This is all familiar to you. You know all this stuff. And you hold that feeling. And so sometimes it can take a few minutes before you get to that feeling of it's actually happening now. So you may have to say your new story for up to 5 minutes. And, really, bring it in, because something may have just happened, a client may have canceled or, something, and you felt really crappy. Well, you need to release that. Say your new story until you feel that, oh, yeah, it's happening. You might have to clear some blocks if you haven't done enough of that yet. But if you say your new story 3 to 5 times a day and you really feel all of it, then all of your blocks or resistances will come to the surface. So if you haven't cleared any or cleared enough, you can know that they're going to come flying in your face faster than bejeebus if you're doing this. So, and they can show up inside of yourself, and they can show up, so like a feeling or resistance to taking aligned action. Or they can show up as people saying negative things to you.
Yes.
Or circumstances falling apart. And so you just know if that stuff has happened, there's some inner blocks, resistances, something that needs to be released. And, you find the resources. I'm here, Michelle's here. Tons of, other people are out there, but that's one of the main things I love to help my clients with, to come back to that place of being magnetic to their ideal clients.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I love that. That's yeah. If this were really, really easy, everyone would be doing it and everyone would have nailed it. It takes work. It takes diligence. You've got to be prepared to do the digging, and you've got to, it's all an act of worthiness, isn't it?
That there is that yes. And I would say, I've been working on this for years, and I am much better at manifesting what I want and believing I'm worth it than years ago or last year even. I mean, it accumulates. So yes, so definitely you got to jump in wherever you are, start, practice. Learn, practice, learn, practice. Get support, learn, practice.
And believe, and as you say, and I love that you say this because I don't hear it often enough, really put the feeling in and live and believe that you're living your desires, because it's that frequency of that belief that triggers the law of attraction to deliver back exactly what you do want. Mm-hmm. As opposed to what we don't, which is what we're used to. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And imagination is the human tool. I don't know if any of the other creatures on the planet have the capacity to imagine. But imagination is what enables us to call up that vibration and that feeling of the belief. And when we imagine, and we are using our imagination all the time. Whenever you imagine something bad happening or something not going the way you want, you're imagining it and you're sending out that vibration. When you imagine, what you want happening, you are sending out that. So it's really, people have said over the years that they don't believe in it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it's nuts to me, because it's just using your imagination. And even if you just think of it as preparing yourself, like you practice in your mind, preparing yourself for something so that you'll take